Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing my VCT Masters Madrid first round pick'ems. Um, this is going to be just going through all the opening games, all four of these games, and just predicting who I think is going to win. This is going to be my last video before Madrid. I think this will come out the day before. Um, and I'll just be doing predictions for all of the rest of the games for the whole event on my Twitter. So go follow that. Link is in the description. Everything like that. Go check that out. I will also be doing a playoff pick'ems video, obviously before the playoffs start, when the brackets like decide and everything like that. So stay tuned for that, everything like that. A bunch of content going into the regular seasons, like the regular season splits and everything like that. So be prepared for that as well. And also go check out my podcast that I'm going to be doing. Link to that is also in the description. I'll have our second episode coming out, I believe, next week. Next Sunday. So haven't recorded that yet, unlike it was when I recorded the top 10 video. But yeah, go check out all the other Madrid content. And without further ado, let's get right into it. So our first game here, we have FPX versus Carmine Corps. And I just don't see a world where Carmine Corps loses this game, personally. FPX, they looked so bad. Well, not so bad. They looked very mid in China. Like, they just overall, just like macro game plan wise, I didn't like it. I don't like a lot of their individuals, like Life specifically pissed me off when I was watching them. Who else? Nobody else made me upset, but like I liked Berlin, I liked Autumn, a little bit. Players like that, A Young as well. Like they have good players, it's a good team. I just don't think they're going to be better than any of these teams. Like I think they'd be bottom half in every other league, maybe other than Pacific, but that would be close. Um, and yeah, I don't see a world where they end up winning this game. Carmine Corps just looked way too solid. All of EMEA, Narrate, Shin, Martine, Thomasy, all looked so good as individuals. Ang looks like a top three coach in the world to me, both with like the way this team is playing with like all the like new comps and everything like that, the anti-stratting, like set plays, everything like that, along with just all of these players looking so much better than they have, like some of the best players in the world right now. Um, Now, I had them fifth in my tier list, and that was more so because of how the tiers worked. You could literally order the second and third tier in whichever order you want. I just wanted those teams in that order, and I wanted Heretics at the bottom of like that middle cluster of like Paper X, EDG, Carmine Corps, Genji, and Heretics. So that's why I had the like one of these teams will suck, one of these teams will be insane tier lower than the Paper X EDG tier. Feel like I have to explain that a little bit because people didn't understand that. It was more sorting the teams rather than ordering them in terms of the tiers there. But to me, the reason why I had that tier lower is just because the inexperience with this team worries me. You have all the players that I mentioned. Narrate, who hasn't played a ton of Valorant. Shin, who is the most experienced player in his role on this team. Martine and Thomasy, who came up from Challengers last year. I hadn't heard of them before. I don't know how much Valorant they've played. I don't think they've played a lot, especially not a lot of high level Valorant. That's for sure. And then Magnum, who, yes, technically is the most experienced player on this team and has a lot of experience going to international events, being Reykjavik champs and Reykjavik 2, I believe he was at that event. Yes, he was one of the Fnatic players that actually attended that event. Um, I don't see, like, he's not experienced enough in the IGL role to for me to have a ton of confidence to rank this team super high in the power rankings. But for predictions, I think he will be good enough. There's just a lot of like there's a bust factor to it, which does worry me. But now onto Genji Loud. Um, I think this one for a lot of people is going to be really straightforward. For me, I think it might have been the hardest pick. It was either this one or EDG Paper X. I think if Solo can put a good anti-strat in, like well enough, and Loud doesn't change around a lot of their comps. I think Gen G should easily win this game. But to me, I do think Loud's going to change around one or two of their comps. I think specifically their Ascent and their Lotus, they're going to change up. Um, I mean, their Ascent, they just need to go back. If they go back to default and just do what they did before, they were the best Ascent team in the world for 2 years. And it's a fairly simple map. You just play the same comp all the time. Like you play, these players have played this comp in ranked. So like, I don't think it's going to be too hard of a transition for them. I know they only have a week, but like if they take this 1 week to just prep Lotus with a better comp, their map pool is unbelievably good. Like I think it's up there with like Carmine Core. I think those two teams have the best map pool at this tournament. If Loud ends up doing that. With Gen G, there are some of the same concerns that I have with Carmine Core. I'm just curious how they play against a top team like Loud, because they're playing against a bunch of Pacific teams that admittedly were not great, but also weren't bad. Like I like a lot of the mid-table teams in Pacific. I like Zeta. I like T1, who they didn't play, but point stands. I like RRQ. Who was the other playing team? I like Team Secret a lot. Like I like a lot of these teams. I just want to see how these individuals stack up against Loud. Um, like you don't expect this team's like macro game plan or like strategy or set plays or anything like that to be on par with Loud, but they have some of the best fundamentals of any team in the world, and they have what people think right now are some of the best individuals at this tournament. So if they can carry themselves through this game with a good anti-strat, good fundamentals, and good individuals, I wouldn't be shocked. But personally, I gotta go Loud here. Just too much faith in this team. Then you have EDG Paper X, probably the most anticipated matchup out of these four. Just two teams that underperformed expectations at kickoff, but two fan favorite teams that have made a bunch of international events in the past. Um, like these two teams were easily, like, objectively from the easier regions in Pacific and China. So you could argue that they could have been hiding stuff, and that's why they looked worse. I think PaperX had more to do with integrating Monnier into their team because he's such a different player than Jing, even though I do think his Rays stylistically looked a lot like Jing's. Obviously, it's not anywhere on par with Jing on Rays, because Jing is the best Rays player in the world and will be the best Rays player of all time until Jaw proves him otherwise, pretty much. But yeah, for the prediction here, like part of me was like, EDG did look slightly better at kickoff, in my opinion, but I don't have as much faith in EDG to get significantly better than they looked at kickoff. I don't have as much faith in them to do that as I do in PaperX, and PaperX always beats EDG. Going back to groups at Champs 2022, where PaperX didn't look great. So I think I gotta pick them here. But I think if there's ever a time for EDG to beat PaperX, it is right now. Then Sentinels Heretics. I think Heretics had an insane run in EMEA, but I really have a hard time believing that they're going to be able to keep it up at this event. Just their run felt like a lot of like set play based and like form based wins that I don't know is going to be particularly replicable, especially against Sentinels, who I think are the exact opposite. Not that their individuals look bad because they looked fucking insane, but their run was based on a lot of anti-stratting and mid-round calling from John Cutie and Zelsis that I just, like, I don't know. I don't think Heretics stuff is replicable long-term. Sentinels is. And I gotta pick Sentinels here. I think they're just the better team. I have them power ranked #1 in that top tier with Loud, and I just don't see them losing this game. So these will be my picks for the first round of Masters Madrid. If you're curious what I think about the next round after these games, go check out my Twitter. Go follow me on there. Predicting every game from the event, every game all year even. So yeah, get ready for that. Go check out the podcast. Link is in the description to that. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.